Everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys? I am here to bring you this fantastic little chocolate bar. For this entire week, we're going to be using the Adorable Owls stamp set. It's a free stamp set that you earn during celebration. And there's a brochure on my website, inkyhandswarmhearts.com. You can look at the entire brochure if you'd like. But it is one of our freebies, and it is on page 4 of the brochure. Isn't it the cutest ever? So you can earn this for free with a $50 purchase from my online store. $50 of anything that you want. So I'm just giving you some suggestions with this project of what you may want to spend your $50 on. You may have plenty of plans. You might say, I don't need your help spending $50. I can spend $50 in 2 seconds. If you're like me, you probably can. But if you need a little help, these are the products that I've chosen. I have been making a lot of Valentine projects last week and the week before. And so I use this Give It a Whirl die set often, and it'll get you close to the $50. If you want to add this Best Butterflies, which I think is one of the cutest stamp sets, you have all the different wings so that you can combine them in any way you want to make your butterflies. And it is the stamp set that I use for the sentiment that says all the love. The font is adorable, and I think it pairs really well with this. The large heart is also from the Give It a Whirl dies. What's special about it is that these things on the front here are stitched. This heart here is stitched when you cut it out. So the paper that's left has a stitching in it. But it has this rim, and I'm going to show you the heart. So when you cut it out, oops, didn't mean to drop that. When you cut it out, hopefully the camera is going to pick this up. I'm going to put this down to make sure that the camera can catch it. It has this rim around it. Hopefully, let's see if you guys can see it right there. So it has this rim around it, and it leaves kind of like an edge around that heart all the way around. It is super cool. So these larger shapes, rectangle, heart, circle, they leave a stitching in the outer area that cuts out, but it cuts out a smooth piece with a rim around it, which I think is super neat. This one cuts the scallop itself and leaves a stitch here. And then this one, of course, cuts the whole little banner flag. But there's so many shapes in this Give It a Whirl dies that you can use it for more than just interactive cards. It is quite a fantastic little set of dies that is versatile for lots of things. So those are just some suggestions of things that you can use to get this free. I'm also going to be coloring with Stampin' Blends, and the colors I'm using are right over here. So those are things that you can use to help you get to your $50 as well. Let's go ahead and get started. The paper that I've used to wrap around our candy bar, which by the way is a Godiva Masterpieces Dark Chocolate Ganache Heart. Isn't that a mouthful? But that's the kind of candy bar. But what I love about it is that it's so classy. I love the gold accents on the edges of the wrapper. I think that looks really cute sticking out. They're heart-shaped, so they're perfect for Valentine, the pieces that you break off. And then this is the gingham paper pack we're using. It's called the Country Gingham, and it's out of our mini catalog. Comes in 4 colors: Petal Pink, Mint Macaron, Balmy Blue, and Sweet Sorbet. And it's located in our purple mini catalog, which is also available. You can look at it on my website, inkyhandswarmhearts.com. And it is right here, this gingham. You get 48 6x6 sheets, so it's quite a good value. And I love me some gingham paper. Patterns are my thing. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I've done enough talking, I think. Let's start on the project. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is just wrap this candy bar and put it to the side so that we can start doing all the fun parts, right? So The piece that I have used to wrap my candy bar, again, is the Country Gingham Designer Series paper. I'm using the Sweet Sorbet, and it is a 4 by 5 inch piece. Okay, so 4 inches by 5 inches across. I needed the 5 inch to cover up the Godiva section, but I wanted you to be able to slide your candy bar out. So it is slidable, and if you give this to somebody who saves everything you make, they could save the little wrapper piece. Okay, it's very cute. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and glue this. So what I've done to get this to work is I've just basically put my candy bar down and wrap this around it. And so to do that, I pull it kind of tight at first, but I don't want to glue it tight, but I want it to get that form, that wrapped form. So by, you know, giving it a little encouragement to wrap around, we're not going to glue it so tight because then we won't be able to slide that wrapper around. So we want to just glue it loose. And so I am going to put some adhesive on about 4 rows of the gingham. So I'm going to hold this in place, and I'm going to go about 4 rows down. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good. And I know you're going, that's a lot of glue, and I'm going to make a mess with it. You probably will, but that's okay. I'm always making messes with glue. Why should I be the only one? All right, and then I'm going to put 1 line here. So if it goes past that, I'm just kind of pushing it along. I don't want to put a lot. I'm just trying to drop a little bit so that there's something there to stick in case it goes past those 4 lines, because I'm not exactly sure how many lines it's going to go. I'm just guessing. See there, I got on my finger already. So let me show you what I do when I do this. I grab my silicone mat, which already should be on my desk and it wasn't. And I just kind of wipe it. And then I just roll the rest onto that mat. Okay. So now I'm going to just push this candy bar forward, and I'm going to try and hold this wrapper without getting that glue on me. Good luck. And then I'm just going to line up my gingham so that the edges are touching and that they're not overhanging. Okay, so that's all I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of pushing this into place, and it will start to grab. When it does that, go ahead and slide your fingers up and down and make sure that you can slide your candy bar. And if not, you can push it back, but mine is good. It's a good weight, and that's basically how I wrap the candy bar. Now I'm just gonna make sure it's not upside down or anything. Let me say when I slide it out, it's not. So we're just gonna sit it here to the side, let that dry, and we're gonna work on our cute little owl. So I have a scrap piece of basic white cardstock, and I'm just gonna take my Memento Tuxedo Black ink and my little flying owl, and I'm gonna ink that up. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp him, and then I'm going to color him in with the Stampin' Blends. And I'm not going to get too detailed on coloring him, because tomorrow I'm going to have a video on how to color the owls. So you can watch tomorrow and learn coloring concepts. So I'm just going to actually just get started and roll with that, okay? Oh, goodness. Okay, I always like to have a piece of scrap paper, which I'm trying to grab right now, that's on my desk. I just refilled my scrap paper holder, and so it's a little bit overfilled, so sometimes it gives me trouble. But I like to have scrap paper in case I need to make sure my Stampin' Blends are writing or coloring or whatever. So we're going to go ahead and just color this little owl. I'm just going to do what I do, and we'll get him colored. And I'm not going to edit this video because, number 1, I don't edit my videos. And number 2, I think you'd rather me make more projects than spend time editing videos, right? At least that's the feedback that I've gotten up until this point, and so you get real live crafting on my channel, however good or bad that may be. All right, so we're gonna color his little wings. And go around him here. So cute. And again, if you need help on coloring, you can check out my video tomorrow on that, and I will cover coloring and how I go about choosing colors, how I go about deciding where I'm going to place them, how I blend them. All of that stuff will be covered on tomorrow's video. And I do, when I do videos such as this, I do have for different characters, sometimes you have to color them different ways, and I do have other coloring videos. I will put them in the description, the links for the other coloring videos, in case you're interested in that, to learn how to color the different little characters that Stampin' Up! Has in the past and annual catalogs, so that you guys, I guess you can learn a little bit out of each video, right? There's always something that you can learn out of each and every video that you watch. So if you're interested in more coloring tips, then I will go ahead and link those tomorrow. I'll make myself a note to make sure that I do link that in the description of tomorrow's video. All right, so we're almost done with our owl, and then we're gonna fussy cut out. And I will give you tips on this video about fussy cutting. Let's do the eyes, and then we can start our fussy cutting. I'm also going to go ahead and stamp our words, and then we'll fussy cut both things at the same time. Let's get my lens out of the way. I'm going to grab my scrap for my words, and we're using the Best Butterflies for All the Love. Ink that up. And go ahead and stamp that. So cute. All right, clean my stamp. Whoa, flinging papers everywhere. All right, now let's fussy cut everything together. So we'll start with the words. I do get a little extra sometimes when I fussy cut, and I am being a little extra with this particular word. I'm gonna actually start at the bottom of the L. I want to curve around it, and I'm not leaving too much white space around. So there is the bottom of our word. The most intricate part of my fussy cutting is going to be around the script, and it's just because I don't want a lot of white. I really want that heart to pop, and if I don't cut down, it would cover most of that heart, and I really wanted the heart to shine. So that's why I went through the trouble to fussy cut down in between the scripted letters, because I really wanted the red to pop of the heart, and I didn't want it to get lost. But normally I would just go around if I was just gluing this onto another piece that was larger. The heart just was small and I didn't want, like I said, to lose it. So I did come down here and go in between. And I'm going to cut down in between here. You can see I'm definitely being a little bit extra, but like I said, I think it was worth it because I really love how much of that red heart you can see around the words. So sometimes it's worth taking the time, and you don't have to do this for everybody. Maybe you just give this to somebody special, somebody that you know would appreciate the time that it took for you to take that extra effort, that extra time to do that special fussy cutting. There are certain people that would prefer that I just hand them a candy bar and not go through all this trouble, and trust me, for those people I do that. But there's people that do appreciate the effort that I put into my projects, and they're the first ones to get them, let me tell you. All right, let's go in here, and we're almost done, and there is our L. So there's our words. Let's do our owl. He's not quite as hard to cut. All right, we're gonna start up here by his little ears. So cute. Just a few more days and I have my doctor's appointment, so I'll be so grateful to fussy cut without pain. You guys have no idea how much I will enjoy that. So I can't wait to get my doctor visit over and done with. I feel like I've been waiting for it forever. I actually have, but it's worth the wait. I'm going to be pain-free and be able to do the things that I love with just a little bit more joy than I have been, because of course there will be no pain associated, but nothing's going to stop me from doing what I love, pain or not, because life is about doing the things that you love. Get your joy from those things. And I hope that I inspire you, if you have a little bit of pain, to just kind of push through it. And even if you can't do as much as you used to, still do the things that you love, because life, that's what makes life worthwhile, worth living, right? That we get to do the things we like to do. All right, so there's our little owl. So there's all our fussy cutting. And as if I haven't done enough, I'm going to do a little extra. I want the owl to put this stitched heart in its beak, like it's flying with that little heart in its beak. So I have to cut the beak open. So I'm going to cut along the lines right here. I want to leave that bottom part of the beak intact. I just need the top lifted. And I'm trying to get close to the black lines, but I don't want to cut them off. Now, if I do, you can use a black marker to go along the ends, and then I'm just lifting my little beak here, making sure that it is raised properly. I'm going to grab my black Stampin' Up marker, and we are going to use the brush end and make sure that that darkness is still intact, that I did not cut it away, okay? Because I definitely want that on the beak. It'll show around the heart. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a mini dimensional. I'm going to put it behind my heart. And I'm actually going to pull the back off of it. And then I'm going to tuck that little heart in the mouth of the, and I want this portion, okay, And that dimensional is gonna lift that heart enough to help pop up the beak. Bring it up to camera so that it looks like it's being held in the mouth. Isn't that so cute? It's just a cute little tip, but that dimensional under there gives it that lift that you need to make it look like that little owl is grabbing onto that with that beak. And if your beak pops up too high, you can always put a dot of glue under there, but I like to leave mine without. So there's our owl. Let's get our glass mat out of the way and close our X-Acto knife. All right. Now, I don't need this mat anymore because I'm not using any more wet glue, but we are going to go ahead and flip our little guy over and put dimensionals behind him. So, the heart and the love, actually we are using wet glue. Heart needs to get all the love attached onto it. Then we'll put dimensionals. Okay, so we have to figure out where, and it's going to be the second L and then diagonally across. So I'm going to hold my finger like that and I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to use my wet adhesive and we're going to put on the E of love and over the L down and both of these, and then I'm going to diagonally add a little bit of adhesive. And then I'm going to attach it while it's actually on my silicone mat, and that way if I have too much glue where it doesn't belong, I can move it into place, figure out what's going where, and the glue will be stuck onto my silicone mat and not onto my project where I don't want it. So we're gonna go ahead and use the silicone mat. See, and I did have a little extra. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that off. I love the silicone mat when I'm using my adhesive because it just makes life easier. So while I have these flipped over, I'm gonna go ahead and put my dimensionals on the back now. So we'll put one there, one there. That looks good to me. Let's do our owl. I'm gonna put by his eyes. We're gonna put one on his belly. And then I'm gonna do a small one on the wing that's gonna be tucked behind the all the love. So I'm gonna put a mini on that wing there. And then I think I'm gonna put one on this wing, but close to the other dimensional, not all the way out. And that should be enough dimensionals for those guys. Let's tie our ribbon next. So the dimensionals are ready. Now we're done with our wet adhesive. We're gonna bring our candy bar in. And what I like to do is get these even, cross them. And then I bring my bow or my knot straight across like that. And then I turn it so that it's facing me. And then I just go ahead and push that through. And then when I pull them outwards. Okay, so I'm gonna pull that out. I love that big fat knot on there. And then we're gonna go ahead and trim this in a flagged trim. And I'm gonna use my ribbon scissors. So to do that, I'm gonna fold this in half, okay? And the frayed end, or the open end, is gonna be facing me, and I'm gonna trim on an angle towards the folded part. That's how I get that peak. I'm gonna flip it around and do it one more time. So I'm gonna fold this in half so that the open frayed ends are facing me. And I'm going to bring my scissors in on an angle, and I'm going to trim towards that folded piece, just like that. That's how you get that little bannered end. Now I'm going to slide it down where I want it on my candy bar. So we're just going to move it down on this end, just wiggle it down till we get it where we want it. I'm happy with that placement right there. And there is my bow. Let's get our scissors off the table. And let's go ahead and pull the backs off of our dimensionals. So we'll start with our heart. It's going to get laid down next to the, right here in the center. All the love. And then we'll pull the backs off of our owl. And we will place our owl. I like to put the little, whoops. I like to put the little wing kind of like it's holding that. And make sure that I have him flying how I want. Perfect. Now time for our heart. There are heart pearls right there. So I have 3. Let's get them open. We're going to use these guys up here. Okay, so we're going to do 1 large. Let's get that one out of the way first. That one will go right there. So cute. Let's do 1 small. That one will go on this end. So there's 2. And I'm going to put another small one down here. I don't know if there's adhesive on that one, but I think there is. Yes, it's just maybe sticking out a little bit. Let's push it back under there. There we go. We'll place this little one on the end. All right. Let's open this up and put these guys away. I do like keeping the embellishments in these holders because I think that it protects them from getting loose. So let's cover our Take Your Pick tool. And there are our candy bars. Oh, I love how they look. So again, we used Adorable Owls, which is free with a $50 purchase. Best Butterflies for the words, but this set is amazing, and especially with spring coming before we know it, you're going to love that stamp set. And then don't forget the Give It a Whirl dies, where I used the baby one to put in the mouth of my owl, and then the larger one, which is on the second sheet. But I have used this over and over and over this Valentine's, and tomorrow tune in for my video on how to color these owls with tips and tricks, and I will link to other videos that I have done in that description. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I always enjoy my time with you. Thanks for spending 30 minutes a day with me. Sometimes a little over if I get a little extra, but I do appreciate you guys. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. And if you have not visited my website, please go to inkyhandswarmhearts.com. I do blog every day, and there's always inspiration there for you. Thanks again for being here, and I appreciate you. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!